It's Week 15 in the NFL, so get ready for the reigning MVP, Aaron Rodgers of the Packers, and the previous MVP, Lamar Jackson of the Ravens, next on EA Sports.
They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are in the T-Bank Stadium down near the inner harbor of Baltimore. Today we reach Week 15 and we've got a good matchup in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Ravens. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 12 carries, 54 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Rashawn Gary making 8 sacks for him on the season. Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
They'll find Williams on the slant. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
Well, you've got to be a little counterintuitive because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver 1, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 right at the 20. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. This is caught, and they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. On the return is Duvernay. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. This defense for the Packers, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers his team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. absolutely unbelievable. I hope they recover. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Sliding out of the pocket. And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact. The last drive, remember, in similar situation, he forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and he told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 26.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you can do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Six yards left on 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From the gun, it's Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Rashawn Gary has now recorded 10 sacks on the season, and that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that.
We did it.
I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right down behind center. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defense is awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. Here's Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. John Ross. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Extra point try now for Crosby. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail by 10, 13-3 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Quick slant to Brown. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage. Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. A handoff left, McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now Williams. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And that's a nice gain by him on 1st down, picking up some key yardage.
From just shy of midfield, Jackson. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers 39.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
The throw over the middle, taken in. 7 yards to pick up there. 3 yards remain for 2nd down. Play action. Now Jackson. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. Only able to gain a couple there. And they're going to face a 3rd down. They'll try and run for the 1st with Edwards. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
On first down, Rodgers.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones.
And he's got this down to the 35.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. This complete to Jones. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard.
And they'll get this down to the 10. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Packers add on to their lead.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Now Rodgers. This is Lazard with a catch out left. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. Touchdown, Packers! Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Troy Pride. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down. And he's going to go down in the field of play. So they say no to the field goal try. And now time has run out on this first half. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. All right, Coach, thank you. And we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded inside the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Let's go!
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Packers add 6 to their lead. Aaron Jones, you know, not one of the bigger backs in the league, 5'9", 208, but he's definitely what you'd call a downhill runner, and he's able to shed the tacklers there for good yardage. Now Crosby for the point after. And that'll increase their lead to 28. 5 plays there on that drive. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. On the ground, this is Williams. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. From the gun, Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Or maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good game and a first down. Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense, because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
To throw again on 2nd down, Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Marquise Goodwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as this now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And this will be incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
Check back 34. Mike 34.
On third down, Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. That's pulled in at the 32. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense, trotting back out. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Rodgers' throw there into the hands of Ross. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. And he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On play action, Rodgers going up top. And this is caught inside the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. Jones will score. Touchdown, Packers. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. On the return is Duvernay. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Boyle here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Mike 14.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And Jackson throwing once more. Open man is Duvernay. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 16.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go. Hey, well, Mike 34. Silver.
Now it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Jackson from the shotgun. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and a yard. On play action, it's Rodgers. He'll check this down, complete to Dillon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now it's Rodgers into the secondary past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
I don't care what you is. They can't get no.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. The kick by Crosby is good, and they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
On the return is Duvernay. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Now here's a pass on 1st first down that's knocked away and incomplete. To throw again on second down. Jackson, he's going to find his tight end Boyle. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This defense going to bring out a couple extra DBs here on 3rd and a yard.
Mike 14. Mike 14.
Jackson will throw again. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. It's Williams on the catch. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
And this is something you don't see too much of. Fullbacks trying to stretch the field. But he does a nice job there getting lost out in space and comes up with a really nice gain.
On 2nd and very short, Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 19. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. From the gun, it's Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Throwing is Jackson. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Rodgers throwing here. Got a man, that's Lazard. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Going deep downfield for Ross. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win.